Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to be talking about the rumors, see what I did there, that Fleetwood Mac is actually regrouping. Now, of course, that means without the beloved Christine McVie and presumably even John McVie, who has announced his permanent retirement. Now, I've talked about this possibility in the past on this channel, haven't I? You could almost see the writing on the wall. The mighty Buck is a powerful gravitational force for some of these performers. But brothers and sisters, tonight have I got an insider for you, and we're going to talk about that. But first, a short walk on the beach. Now, I don't usually hold too much stock in gossip columnists, and tonight's column or article by this particular writer is by its very nature just that. But you know, since Fleetwood Mac has had Hollywood's tendrils into it for decades, this might be a source worth considering. Now, tonight's article that we're going to discuss is by a Robert Friedman. And I think the best thing to do is right away, they've got a little blurb on this, no ego involved in this at all, but it says Roger Friedman began his Showbiz 411 column on April 2009 after 10 years with Fox News. Now, dig what this guy has to say here. First of all, he says, little by little, all of the 70s bands are planning farewell reunion tours. Okay, newsflash, Roger, we already knew that. But he says the Eagles are getting ready to embark on one. Aerosmith and Kiss are also eyeing the end of their touring days. Elton John just wrapped up his last go-round. Paul Simon has already dotted his I's and crossed his T's. Now here's where his statement gets very interesting. He says, now I'm hearing that Fleetwood Mac may be next. There is even talk, sources say, per Mick Fleetwood, of reuniting with Lindsey Buckingham. But with the passing of Christine McVie, it makes sense to get Buckingham back into the fold. You think? He and Stevie Nicks can fight once the tour is over and they're in nursing homes. Good point, Roger. Now, Roger concludes the short article that it would be nice if Fleetwood Mac would have a younger and hot upcoming band, and that kind of tips Roger's hand. He's more than just reporting on this. This is a deliberate leak by Fleetwood Mac. And you know, that makes perfect sense. I mean, Mick Fleetwood is the perfect negotiator for this little problem. I mean, he's friends with Lindsey and he's slept with Stevie. A match made in heaven. Now, in one of my past videos, I suggested that they get either Bonnie Raitt or Sheryl Crow. My personal favorite between those two would be Sheryl Crow. Not because she's more talented than Bonnie, but her sound is closer to what Mac produces. Less blues-based than Bonnie, and I think that would be a good match. And since there's no Mac left in Fleetwood, what would we call this group? How about Fleetwood Crow? Hey, that name would have sold in the 60s. But obviously, they need somebody up there of a certain stature to even begin to represent what McVie did for that band. That's no knock to Stevie Nicks. I don't like her as a person, but she is a wonderful songwriter. She has a marvelous voice, and she's easy on the eyes, no doubt. And she's sharp as a whip. I think she'll take this bait. But my question to the tribe tonight is, do you see yourselves paying top dollar whatever that is, to see this incarnation of Fleetwood Mac. You know what? If Lindsey Buckingham is there and either Bonnie or Cheryl, preferably Cheryl, I'd actually pay to see this incarnation of Fleetwood Mac. My only stipulation would be that the McVie and Buckingham album, the material on that album, is well represented. It's some of the best stuff those two ever wrote. And of course, Fleetwood Mac is a band that has proven its adaptability, so if Sheryl Crow, say, was up there, they could play some of her top stuff. What an audio treat that would be. But what do you guys think? Is this even Fleetwood Mac to you? Now, I've said in the past, as long as there is a Mick Fleetwood and a John McVie, Fleetwood Mac is Fleetwood Mac. So I would love to see this band, but I really wouldn't see them as the real Fleetwood Mac. That's why I say it's time for a name change. Now, you might not agree with my name suggestion, but what would be some suggestions from you folks? All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel grow. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, then tap that top bell icon, and you are there. All right, I'm Michael Noland, and guys, in the comments, I've said this before, we become a tribe. We have a voice. Indeed, we are the tribe. All right, I'll see you in my next video.